This is breaking news from KSL.
Good evening. We start things off with breaking news tonight. Two Salt Lake City police officers now on paid leave after at least one of them shot a man today.
The officers were called to assist mental health workers when something happened and an officer opened fire. News Specialist Alex Cabral is on the story for us tonight, just off of 17th South and 9th East in Salt Lake. And Alex, any word on how this man is doing?
Yeah, last we heard, Mike, and this was a couple of hours ago, is that the man is in critical condition but stable at a nearby hospital. Now, as for the scene itself, it is still closed out here. There are a lot of officers still on scene collecting as much evidence as possible for this investigation. Now, you really can't see where this all went down from the road because of the closure, but Chopper 5 did see it from the air. Detectives were near this small building next to an apartment complex in this little alley parking lot area. The original call involved workers with the Mobile Crisis Outreach Team, which is affiliated with the University of Utah Huntsman Mental Health Institute. They normally help with calls involving someone who is having a mental health crisis. At some point, those crisis workers called Salt Lake City Police for help.
It's unclear what happened when our officers arrived, but during their arrival, a man was shot.
Salt Lake Police didn't know or wouldn't say what caused at least one of their officers to shoot, if this happened inside or outside that building, or even if the man they shot was the same man crisis workers were originally called for help. They also can't say at this point if that man was armed. Two police officers with Salt Lake City right now are on administrative leave as this investigation continues to work itself out. For Live at 5, I'm Alex Cabral.
Alex, thank you. Also, right now, a hefty dose of snow unleashing on Utah's.
The full forecast coming up in a couple of minutes.
Those are the answers we want to know almost as much as the election results. Kevin, thanks. Developing tonight, two Salt Lake City police officers are now on administrative leave after shooting a man this morning. They were called to help crisis workers who were dealing with a man having a mental health episode. News specialist Alex Cabral is live where this happened off 17th South and 9th East. And Alex, any update on how that man's doing?
Yeah, Deanie, last we heard this 37-year-old man was in critical condition with serious injuries, but he is stable. And in fact, the scene here where this all went down this morning, this just opened up in the past 15 minutes. Traffic can get through again. Officers have been here ever since about 11:30 this morning. Now, let's show you kind of what went down. Officers arrived here when a team known as the Mobile Crisis Outreach Team, that team called them for help. The MCOT team is affiliated with the University of Utah's Huntsman Mental Health Institute. They often respond to calls when someone is having a mental health crisis. Now, a team is usually made up of a social worker and a peer support specialist. And last year alone, MCOT responded to roughly 4,000 calls. One of those calls, that's what happened today. When officers arrived, the MCOT workers, the social workers, were calling the officers for backup. They wanted to meet the man they were dealing with a family member, but something went down and officers ended up shooting the man.
We're definitely feeling, I think still a little bit in shock, very overwhelmed by the situation, overwhelmingly grateful that our staff members are physically safe and unharmed, and very appreciative for the support of our law enforcement partners who helped ensure the safety of our staff on scene.
Yeah, we mentioned MCOT called police for help in roughly 4,000 cases last year. Of those calls, they asked police for backup in 11% of those cases. That's nearly 450 of them. And also in the last 15-20 minutes, Salt Lake City police saying that the reason why they believe officers shot at the man is because he reached for a weapon, and officers felt like either their life or the people they were next to, their lives, were in danger. More will be released on this as we get more details. Mike and Deanie, back to you.
All right, Alex, thank you.
Still ahead, several more hours of waiting.